Oh man. Uh, oh man. Oh man. You want to talk about being able to politely cuss somebody out, politely
Mm-hmm.
insult people, right? And that's the thing is that it gives you an idea of what of somebody's comprehension
Mm-hmm. It's like way over this
way over
person's
their
head.
head, right? But which is also can be dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because then the moment that they find out, this son of a, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it clicks like
It
3 days
clicks,
later.
right? It clicks. So it's just interesting that it's interesting. I'm never one to start off with disrespecting
Mm-hmm.
somebody. I usually just
Yeah,
respond to it.
like I said, I don't know if they're best friends or I don't know the dynamics of the
But
relationship.
that was one hell of a diss though.
Yeah,
You got limited intelligence and everybody around you works harder than
yeah. It's like, yeah.
you. Yeah, that's I don't know how you come back from that one.
So you've done stuff on law, politics, technology, education, a host of other things. What do you consider yourself as? Like some people consider, as a black man, a technologist, a human
Ooh,
being. Like what Dr. Doc Montgomery is a.
multi-dimensional creator,
I like that.
multi-dimensional creator, and a creative problem solver.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, with all the stuff you're doing, if you could only work on one thing, what would it be? Like someone said, hey, a higher power said, hey, you want to do all these things?
And maybe, right, if I'm able to keep certain things in the same, right? And that makes the assumption that I'm able to take into account all the things that could be different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And take into account all the infinite other possibilities that could have been there. Going into the future means that I don't get to experience all the life that I will have and the things that I will learn, right? So going right now, if I went back into the past, that means that I still have to relive another five. I have to relive those 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I may not necessarily be in a place where I want to be. I'm making that assumption. If I go in the future, I go with what I know now, and maybe I don't like what I see in the future. But if I stay in the present right now, I get a choice. I get a choice in every decision that I make on whether or not I'm going to maximize my life.
Yeah, I have the same answer for different reasons, right? I'll just stay here, but I don't go in the future because a trip might be a paradise, but what if I go there and there's a sign, we move to Mars,
Yeah,
or it's like a nuclear holocaust, right?
yeah,
And 5 years have passed, like, I ain't built like that, right? I can't miss a bubonic plague. I can't miss the sword strikes, right?
yeah,
All
yeah, yeah,
diseases, like, we're not built like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think this best possible time to be alive is right now.
Yeah, I do. Do you want my perspective as an American, or do you want my perspective as a Black American?
Let's do Black American.
As a Black American, how can we complain about the education system failing our children and then be pissed off that the Department of Education is gone?
And this is my thing, right? And a lot of people say you need to find education, like, keep from racism in schools, all that kind of stuff. It's like this seeing inherently unfair, right?
Well, there's Texas is an interesting place because of how they handle their taxes, and the school districts are independently funded
Mm-hmm.
versus a state like California where it's a central pot of money and it gets dispersed, right? And so there's the level of standards and things like that. Um, I will say this that you know the whole capitalism, communism, all those things, right? Are we talking about capitalism? Because if you want to be honest about it, we live in from a governmental system, we live in a republic that is based upon a capitalist democracy, right? If you don't like the way that your system is, then you have to do something about it. And you can't complain about the very system that you're subject to and not do something about it. But also, your system also has to follow its own rules in responding to you.
So what's your take on this, like, DEI stuff being rolled back?
That's an interesting question, too. Do you want my answer as a Black American, or do you want my answer as an American?
Um, how different are those answers?
As a Black American, black folks were number 4, number 5, the number 4, number 5 beneficiaries of DEI.
It wasn't like white women the number one.
White women were the number 1.
Yeah.
Right, and so that comes down once again to the hijacking of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that was supposed to be for black folks.